Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I sing to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly.
Carlos Queen is at it again. He's gonna sit down with Ramona Singer. Flat as her butt is, the last name shouldn't be Singer. So we open with how she gone on Housewives, and at first she said I was famous with my friends and I didn't have time for it. So she said I'll go on the show if we can promote my True Faith jury. He said Ramona got them a second season because Bethany wasn't the loudmouth she is today, and that's probable. Does she believe that New York put Housewives on the map? I would say it was Atlanta, because Atlanta was cross-cultural. Everybody watched Atlanta. I would also say Jersey and the table flip more than New York. He asked her, where is the show now? How now, old cow? She said, just because something is politically correct doesn't mean it needs to be done. So basically, they shouldn't have brought Ebony on because she wanted to talk race and politics and you couldn't do it. Carlos thinks the show lost its magic too, because it was so many educational pieces there wasn't no fun. Oh, Ramona said she might have lost her plot line because she was going to marry an older Jewish man and her storyline would have been her conversion. I hate to agree with what Ramona is saying because she's the wrong one to say it, but she is right. It wasn't a fun show. But it also wasn't a fun time to do reality because reality wasn't fun. So when they were in Salem and talk got political again, she called the head of Shed Production and said, Lisa, it's happening again. Enough of politics. He said also y'all didn't do that well when Carol Radziwill was bringing up the election every 5 minutes before we got the dump. Carlos asked her, does she think Ebony's responsible for the show not doing well last season? No, that's production, because production could have said, okay, enough race, enough politics, let's get to the fun. Production could have done a lot more. Production was lackluster. Ramona agreed. She said Bravo made them decisions. But she doesn't agree with the splitting of the show betwixt Legacy and the new girls. You just keeping that foot in your mouth. Oh, Ebony was supposed to be renewed, and they were supposed to shoot September of last year until she made those allegations. Let's get into it. Oh, that's why they didn't do a reunion. But what was the allegation? Oh, she can't share anything, but everything was unfounded. So she's saying that Ebony was playing dirty in the press. Ramona said, I just can't believe that you were upset, that we were more upset over Leah's grandmother than your grandmother, and that dehumanized you. I was very upset. Come to me. Don't tell the press. These are some weak examples, Heifer. Girl, she said Ebony out here lying on Dave Quinn from People magazine. So apparently she was cool and on the phone with Ramona after she made the allegations, and Ramona used that to say, we're cool. I don't trust it. Oh, she said we lost 6 figures on the reunion and 7 figures on the season. I lost a lot of money because of you, Heffany. You would have kept that money if you just could have had an honest conversation. And she said the whole cast feels that way. She doesn't know if she's going to be a part of Roni Legacy, but if they ask you, Heifer, you going. She said all the fans were scaring off my mans. They want to get this pussy in private because they don't want to claim it. So I'm not happy being famous. So each suggests the cast with Jill Zarin, Kelly Kilgore, Ben Simone, Dorinda, Sonia, Luann, and herself. And she like, Kelly and Jill got fired. And there's a reason. There's a reason. You're probably that reason. She said, keep it me, Luann, and Sonia, and bring on some new girls. She said Dorinda could be a friend of. She said Dorinda gets too mean. And she didn't really peep at Ultimate Girls script. She wants to know what he thinks. Oh, and he's called her a force multiplier. Carlos said, yeah, Dorinda get too drunk because she's scared she ain't gonna get another season. What about Bethany? Nah, Bethany's in a different place now. She'll never come back. You never want her back. I also think Bethany is never coming back. She likes getting on everybody's nerve on TikTok. Does she want to continue on reality TV if it's not with Roni Legacy? I don't know. I can't really answer that. She'll take a check wherever she could get it. So she didn't show up to Teresa's wedding because she didn't want to be filmed, aka Teresa didn't want to pay. But you was also the one that put Teresa's invitate on blast. Yeah, you might have gotten disinvited. Is there a place on reality TV for politics, Ramomo? No, I think that's too serious. I think we can have education moments, but I ain't gonna say yes to politics. But that's just me. So she's dating somebody, but she gonna keep her coot to herself. Oh, what does Ramona want her legacy to be? I think she's made it clear she's a proud asshole. Well, that was the shit, but I'm gonna see you soon for something. So today we're going to start with dessert. Now, I normally like to do from scratch, but today we're doing a box mix. But we're going to add a little extra to it. So we're doing a Duncan Hines, not Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker. I thought it was Duncan Hines. I guess I got the Betty Crocker because it was on sale. Betty Crocker brownie mix. So all you need are 3 tablespoons of water, 2 cups of vegetable oil, and 2 eggs. I'm going to add an extra egg, and instead of water, we're going to do half water, half milk to make it a little richer. And we're all going to make it in this pan because I ain't dirtying extra dishes, and neither are you. Trying to get me to dirty extra dishes and use mixing bowls. I wish the fuck. Actually, I am going to use a bigger mixing bowl because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get everything I need to get mixed in here, and then I'm going to have clumpy edges. And the best part about the brownie is the edges, so I ain't going to mess that up for myself. Brownie mix, check. Plastic spoon, check. Well, let me see how it says to mix it. Mix water, oil, and eggs in a medium bowl. Okay, so we're going to do 1.5. And then we're going to add a little more milk rather than just plain old water. And then we got to put 2 eggs in the joker. And then a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Wesson is the besson. Already dirtying up my mixing cups. It smells chocolatey. That reminiscent smell of Christmases of yesteryear. I don't know, there's just something about the holidays, something about that cold weather in the air that just makes baked goods smell better. It's probably the lack of humidity. Okay, now we're gonna pour this in here and bake at 350 for 22 minutes. And I put the foil in here because I don't feel like washing my pans afterwards. I mean, I wash them, but I ain't gotta scrub. So smooth your batter across the bottom of your pan. You know how us bottoms like it smooth. And pop this joker in the oven at 350, and now we're going to start to brown our beef for the lasagna. And if you don't want to burn your shit, put it on the top rack of the oven. I didn't burn too much shit at the bottom rack. Put it at the top. Just put it at the top. Don't be like me, fucking up, and not for free. So now we're going to take our skillet. We're going to throw in some diced onion, 1/2 pound of ground beef, season it with a little pepper, and we're going to brown it and make sure that the onions are crystal clear before we start cooking the lasagna. So when you're cooking your meat to brown it, you want to make sure it's fully broken up. We're going to cook it on a low heat. I've got my electric stove on about 4, and actually I'm going to turn it down to 3. Because you want it to simmer, not burn. Also, you want the flavor of the pepper and the onion to mix, to season, but not overpower the dish. It should look like loose meat, the same crap Roseanne was selling when she was able to soak her mama for the $50,000 to start her loose meat business with her sister Jackie. You remember that episode? I do. That's what it's supposed to look like, loose meat. A sloppy Joe without the sloppy. Now we have our ground beef beautifully browned. Our onions are not quite translucent, but they are ready for cooking. So now we're gonna get our oven ready lasagna noodles, and they are oven ready. It says so on the package, pasta barilla, oven ready lasagna. So these are not your regular boil and then put them in the oven lasagna noodles. They're already ready to go in the oven. We gonna break up a couple pieces because that's what they do it in the recipe I'm following. So I'm just gonna see if this white man helps me make dinner or a mess. We gonna find out here live on Cooking with Alex. So here's how I'm gonna do it. This is our sheet. We gonna crack it. Well, now you see how it cracks. Not in the way you want it, because I wanted to split it down the middle, and it's doing this shit. So, we just gonna take this off the heat. Stir it up a little more. Take it off the heat. And I'm just gonna do a layer of noodles. His shit cracks properly. My shit ain't cracking properly. My shit cracking like a broken mirror. So we just gonna put these noodles over it and call it a day. He gonna say break this into 6 pieces each. It don't break like that. Like, okay, we got 2. Okay, we got 4. Maybe if we really like try to get geometric with it, but even still, you getting some cracked up pieces. And I just got this crap 2 days ago, but you know, you won't break my soul, but you will break my lasagna noodles. But it's okay. He said 6 pieces, so let's follow the honky. At least he got clean fingernails, so I can kind of trust him. Okay, the key to breaking them is you got to get like a stack. You got to get like 3 at once, and then they'll kind of crack into what you need. You saw that one just fell, but they'll kind of crack into what you need. But they're going to be some lumpy noodles, so don't think they're going to be perfect. And I ain't never had an oven-ready lasagna noodle, so I'm hoping it's good. It may not be, but I'm sure we'll at least be able to eat through it. So they say drain the oil out of your pan. I kind of want to keep it, but I'm going to follow instructions. I rarely follow instructions, but I'm going to follow instructions on this one. We got enough oil out of it where it's still somewhat greasy, but, you know, there was a little extra oil. Okay, so we got our meat on the bottom, and now we're going to add the lasagna noodles. So we want to make sure that our meat is covering the bottom, and then we're going to cover it with the lasagna noodles. Now, I wish I had remembered to get some extra mushrooms, because I would have put some mushrooms in that too. You can kind of see, hold on, can you see? Yeah, you can kind of see most of our onions are pretty clear, so they're ready for cooking. So now we just gonna put our layer of lasagna on here, the oven ready, the broken ones. Now we're gonna add our crushed tomatoes. It's a 28-ounce can. I'm gonna probably use about half that because it's a small skillet. So we're gonna put these on here. I'm gonna put a couple more noodles in betwixt this layer of, you know, noodles and meat. Just a few more on top. Now we add our tomato sauce and water. Did I get tomato sauce? I thought I got tomato sauce. Did I forget some? I feel like it's tomatoey enough. I don't know if I have tomato sauce, y'all. On today's episode of I Knew I Forgot to Get Something at the Market. For real, I ain't got no tomato. Do I want to use the pizza tomato sauce? Because I have a little extra pizza tomato sauce. I feel like it's tomatoey enough. I'm going to put some Italian seasoning. You see, this is what happens when you cook live. Sometimes you forget shit and you just got to make do. We got some Italian seasoning. We're just going to add that. There's enough in this pan going on already. We're going to be all right. Now they say cover your noodles, but don't stir because then your noodles will stick to the bottom of the pan, which is why your meat is at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to let this simmer for 10 minutes. I got my electric stove on 3, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Let them noodles soften. Meanwhile, we're going to take out these brownies because they seem to be done. And they are. So we're going to let these cool while dinner gets ready. Ooh, Lord, that's hot. But leave your oven on because you're going to need it to bake this lasagna. So now that we've cooked this for 10 minutes, we're going to stir Our noodles are getting soft, and we're going to add our seasoning. Now, I'm not going to do extra garlic in this because I don't want heartburn, so I'm just going to do Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper. Actually, I'm going to skip the salt because black people already have naturally high blood pressure, and this is flavorful enough. So now we're going to give it another 10 minutes. I'm going to be honest, I could have put more lasagna noodles in here, but it's okay. I might soften some up, and maybe we just going to do half noodles on one side of the pan, and then no noodles on the other. So I will say you could definitely add more noodles than I did. We're going to add a little more Italian seasoning.
So now we're gonna add a dollop of ricotta as the brownies cool, as the brownies cool.
I got to use all this ricotta before it go bad anyway, so we're going to add a couple extra dollops. Okay, yeah, it's good till October 15th, and it's the 11th, so we good. Just in time, just in time. Go on to use all this ricotta, because I ain't going to use it for shit else. Not shit else. So now we're going to let this rest off heat for 5 minutes. I'm going to just turn mine to low, because I like mine cooked a little more thoroughly. So now what we're going to do is stir our cheese in a bit. Not too much, but you see the melted, rich, cheesy goodness that this is giving. So a slight stir, and then we're going to add our mozzarella cheese and put it in the oven as our brownies cool. So I got some Lucerne mozzarella cheese. That is the longest beep in the world. I got some Lucerne low skim mozzarella cheese so we can give it a nice crust. And I'm going to put this in, I want to put it in the bottom rack of the oven, but that's too hot, so I'm going to have to put it on the top for 10 minutes at 350. Now, I wish this did have more noodles, but I do think we're going to get cheesy, meaty, tomato-y goodness. And now let's pop her in the oven. See you in 11 minutes.
All right, we've been cooking this for 11 minutes. Let's see how it looks.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna put this on the bottom for like 5 minutes because it needs some more steam. But it's getting where we need it to be. And I'm gonna turn it up to 375. So we've put it in for another 5 minutes. Let's see how she's looking. Oh, I hear a simmer. Oh, it's perfect.
So this is our 30-minute skillet lasagna, and I will be back
For the taste test. But we're gonna let this cool.
All right, so the lasagna has cooled.
I started cutting it before I started filming, so that's why there was that little crease. I'm gonna give it a little quarter cut. And cut it into an eighth. It's good and cheesy. It's almost giving a shepherd's pie lasagna tea. So we're gonna scoop her out. It's gonna be messy. It's messy. It's messy. We're gonna use the knife to help get this on. It's messy. It's messy boo. Okay, all right. All right, we were able to scoop a decent slice out.
So, did I make lasagna or did I make a mess?
I made lasagna. And the oven-baked noodles, the oven-ready noodles are good. Yep. We did this. We did it. Follow the recipe exactly as I gave it to you. Add what you need. But yes, we did this. Well, I will see you soon for something.
Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly.